What's up, family? I'm making this video to remind you that all money ain't good money. Okay? Again, all money ain't good money. Um, Something I've learned over the years, something I've always heard growing up. And as you get into, your adult years, into finances and business and, you know, just surviving and thriving in this world, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to, get money in various different ways, good, bad, and ugly. So you got to realize that all money ain't good money. I say that I got the idea from this video because of all the PPP loan things that are coming out. And I remember at the time, I was working for myself. I was selling cars, working from home and everything of that nature. And the opportunity arose for me to, get the PPP loan, just like everybody during the pandemic. And I was close to doing it, but I was thinking about doing it. I wasn't close because when I want to do something, I do it, and I research it and everything. When like if I ain't research it, I wasn't really gonna do it. But I was close to doing it, and I was talking to my peoples about it, and I just was like, nah, man. See, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I've been a conspiracy theorist for a long time, so I knew about things, all this stuff that's happening now. We got rumors of it coming back in 2010. You know what I mean? So like by the time 2019, 2020 came around, I was already like, don't trust it. I ain't, it takes a lot for me to trust something. Especially from the government. So you know when the whole PPP loan and what I knew about business and finances, and I worked at a car dealership for several years. You know what I mean? So I know every single category of business, and how far it can go with people's finances and income and the information that's out there. So I was just like, nah. I'm making good money. I was making enough money doing my thing. Personally, I didn't have my LLC set up either. And then talking about employees and all that. And I just was like, nah. So I didn't do it. And then, a lot of people started getting money from it and making money. I knew people personally made money from it. And, that's all well and good. I do my own thing. More power to them, though. And then, it was like at first everybody was skeptical. Then people started doing it, getting paid from it. Then, it was like, oh, y'all gonna get caught up, and then 1 year goes past and nothing happens. Then 2 years go past and nothing happens, and people are making TikToks and videos about how they wish they would have took advantage of the PPP loan and blah blah blah. Nobody got arrested from it. Now 4 years later, they're locking people up. Picture being arrested for something you did 4 years ago. Money's gone. Anything, all the experiences, memories from it, it's over with. You know, matter of fact, that's what you got. The memories, and then the feds come knocking. You know, that's crazy, man. So, just this is a great video because it reminds you of how much God protects you. Be grateful for God's protection. God gives us, feelings. You got to trust your instincts. And like my instincts told me not to do it, and I'm grateful because I don't want that. I don't want that, that burden on my back of, having to look over my shoulders or wonder if there's a warrant for my arrest. Or you don't want that stress, man, especially as you get older. So, it happens like that. Sometimes you got to be patient to see God's blessing and fruition. And it was like now I'm even more glad I didn't do it, you know what I mean? Because I ain't got no time. So, there's plenty of different stories, like how you handling business. I mean, right from the jump, doing anything illegal to make money, that ain't good money, man. That ain't good money. You know what I mean? If you're doing anything illegal to get money, that ain't good money. Or if you're doing business, you got a legal business, but you're doing it, with unsavory characters. That's not always good money because that can come with other, trials and tribulations, violence or whatever. So, just be careful with what you do, man. Money's put on a very high pedestal. I get it. I love money just like everybody else. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an Aries. We don't play about our bread. But, peace is way more important to me than money. You know what I mean? Because I can always get money. You can't always get peace. And if you put yourself in a predicament where now your peace has been put in jeopardy because of your love of money, is it worth it? Because when the cuffs go on your wrist and you go behind in that car and you're in that jail cell, you know, you don't care. You ain't caring about that little bit of money you was trying to get to show off. Because it ain't like we use it for anything productive. It's not like we take the money then, buy land and property and really do start a business and something that can, feed ourselves and our communities and uplift our communities. No, we go to stunt. We go to show off on each other. So, you got to be smart, man. You got to be smart. All money ain't good money. Trust your instincts. Earn it. Feels better that way. Earn it the right way, And it's nothing like the peace you have. You ain't got to look over your shoulders, you know what I'm saying? And there's a million ways to make money, so you just got to find your thing, But I'd rather be available to work and make money legally than be unavailable to do anything. Because once you go to jail, you can't do nothing. Or worse, if you're in a situation where somebody wants to hurt you or unalive you, you don't want that. It ain't worth it. You don't seem like it's not. When you're young, it's like every day's the rest of your life. It's like you don't realize you got a whole long life ahead of you, and you want your peace. You value your peace, and you don't want the headache of having to look over your shoulders and all that stuff. I get it. We all out here trying to make it and doing what we got to do to make it and take care of ourselves and our family and our friends and people that we love and care about. I understand that part, but you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to go for it and you got to know when to chill, man. It's like driving a car, when you first start driving a car, you drive fast, just like in life, you drive fast, But when you're really a good driver, you know how to drive slow. You can make yourself drive slow. See, it's easy to drive fast. You got to make yourself drive slow. That's tough. Same thing in life. You want to get out the gate fast, and that's all well and good. But you got to know when to slow down. You got to know when to tell yourself no. And others, but definitely yourself. That's mastery. When you can say no less, I'm not doing that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, man. Not worth being arrested. It's not worth, leaving your children, your family. It's not worth it. So be cognizant, be vigilant, and be aware of how you and who you are getting money with and how you're getting money. Because all money is not good money. I love y'all. Peace.